Welcome to another day in the homestead. Today we're putting together a canopy. It is actually a garage in a box. It's 12 by 20 by 8 foot high. We're doing it back in this corner. It's gonna have canvas top for tractor and tractor implements. This is the first like assembly. There's instructions, so we'll see how this goes.
All right, so you're gonna do the first arch, and I'll do the second arch.
So right now just getting all of these legs put together while getting the arches with the legs. Rev's our little helper today.
So, did it come with this box, or did you put?
Give me one.
I think that's how Tim separated them.
Oh, yes.
Because, here, look at this difference. Tammy read all of the reviews online and insisted that before getting started putting this together, Tim separate the hardware to make sure that we knew what was what. And the reason is because there's these two bolts that are
Near identical.
about maybe 3 millimeter difference in length. And it's very important when you use the long one that you use it in the correct place. Otherwise, you're gonna mess up and you're gonna have to pull it all apart and redo it. So, Tim did an awesome job separating them to make sure that, and then of course Tammy comes in and mixes them up a little bit. To the fence now, y'all.
4 corners.
2 hop this time. Oh wow, this is so
So we just attached these after a long-awaited debate about how the heck to make this thing the right dimensions. Basically, the instructions told you to measure width-wise 12 feet on either side, and then do the diagonal to make sure that it's, what was it supposed to be? 34?
23 and 4.
Oh, 23 and 4 inches was supposed to be that diagonal, but I never mentioned measuring the lengthwise side. So then things were all wonky, but I think we fixed it. Well, Tim and Ryan fixed it, or not, no. My mom and Ryan fixed it.
What?
I'm trying to remember who fixed it.
It's kind of a combination of settling and hoping that it works. We unrolled the tarp to see that the tarp would cover the edges. That was a really important thing.
All right, we're gonna back this up.
So now, we need to go direction.
Tarpy time.
So Ryan, what are we doing first?
Huh?
What did we learn from the other end?
Well, from the other end, we realized don't make dumb mistakes.
Dumb mistake number 1, that was putting the tarp on without tightening any of the bolts.
Oh, yes.
So we put the whole tarp on, we did the whole end, and then we realized we didn't tighten any of the bolts, so we had to loosen everything back up, tighten all the bolts, and then put the tarp back together tight again. So that was lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 was kind of to tighten at the same time, because if you tighten the ends separately, then you pull it off centered and that gets all screwy. You gotta fix that. And so basically after you put the whole thing together, you have to take it apart to put the ends back on, but that's the way it's done.
The frame is all tightened up. Obviously we got the two ends on, and now they laid out the top canvas and they tied some ropes. There's bars going across there, and so they tied the ropes to the bars and they're gonna pull it on up over. And here they go. We got it up and it's being used. Tim, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think at least it keeps it dry for the most part, except when the doors are down. It does somehow get condensation on it. I mean, I can come in and find water on the tractor and it's been, you know, buttoned up, but condensation does happen. So we generally leave the front and back doors open, especially if there's a lot of wind forecasted, which there had been the last couple of days. But all in all, it's a good, I think it was a good purchase. I think it cost us something near $600. I know we bought other stuff to go with it, which has not yet been put up. But all in all, I think it's done a pretty good job.
And so in here you got obviously the tractor, and got a few things back there.
Implement back there. In this case, it's a landscape rake, which is not attached right now. And I got those shelves. I'm really not that thrilled with the shelves. They actually stick out too much, and it's difficult to clear them when if I was to. I have to be careful when I'm putting an implement down so I don't hit it. So I'm thinking of something else with shelves. I don't know what, because I do like to keep stuff in there, oil and grease and a few tools that I've got up there. So far so good. I mean, I don't have any really big complaints. You know, it was the best we could do with the money that we had at the moment. Eventually,
and in short notice.
Right, and eventually I think Ryan and I would like to build a pole barn that would house this and other good stuff.
Indeed. So that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was interesting putting it together. Was pretty simple, pretty straightforward, yeah. Right? Getting it, you sure did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. High five.
Yeah.
You're a good helper. I think the toughest thing was just getting it square.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm not sure we did a 100% perfect job, but that's okay. We're learning. It's an experience. But again, hope you enjoyed this. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and we will see you guys on the next video here on Seed to Table Farms.